All right. Hi, everyone. This is Michelle Baxo here, and this is a really exciting day because I have Liz on the call, and she was someone who is just at the sort of final few days of her Power Love project, and is gracious enough to come and share her journey with everyone today. So, Liz, thanks for being here.
Very happy to, Michelle.
Okay, good. And geez, let's just dive right in. What would you like to share? Let's just start maybe with where you started. So four months ago, in this journey of your love life, where were you at and what was it like for you then?
4 months ago, I found myself kind of where I have found myself many times, which is thinking that I found somebody great and then realizing that they really are not the right fit for me, just attracting the wrong people. And I just felt like, everything I do in life has been based on getting like coaching and mentoring and experts helping me, going to school, getting educated, and it really served me well in my professional career. And even as a mom, take parenting classes, you take Lamaze classes, nursing classes, all of these things. But I realized, I never did that for my love life. And that's why I think I felt like I was floundering and failing and not doing it in a way that I was succeeding. So I heard about the Power Love Project, and that was 4 months ago. And this light bulb went off that made me realize if I want to be successful in my love life, like I am in all the other parts that I'm really happy with, I need to tackle it the same way. I need to be educated, and I need to take charge of it and learn about how to do it the right way. So that's kind of where it all began.
Yeah, for sure. And so what were for you, some of the shifts that you made? And I really do, I just acknowledge you so much, Liz, because you dove in. You really were here to have change be made, and it shouldn't be overlooked what that takes from your end. So I'm just so proud of you. But I'd love for you to share, what were some of the kinds of shifts that you made within yourself?
Well, I am a very strong personality. I consider myself an extremely confident and successful, independent woman. And one of the things that I really loved about this program is that it made me really look into myself and really face the things that I probably wasn't that confident person in. But, when you think of yourself in that way, because you feel like all the other parts of your life are so put together, it's kind of weird and uncomfortable to be like, ooh, yeah, I suck at that. And so, for example, one of my favorite exercises was when I needed to reach out to, let's say, 5 men and women and ask them various things like, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And it was shocking and refreshing. Everybody was very candid. They were wonderful. And in my weaknesses, it was so consistent. And in reading what they were writing or telling me, I know you're supposed to do it by phone in a 5-minute phone call, but everybody called, they're like, I can't answer this in 5 minutes. So sorry, Michelle, I had to go another way, but it worked out really great. It was actually one of the most productive parts of the program for me. And it really opened my eyes to a lot of the ways that I wasn't even aware of, because you can't really step outside of yourself and observe who you really are in relation to the people around you. So that was really good. And then also just being somebody to completely and totally just take orders, I was talking to you the other day about how I finally decided, like, if I'm going to do this program, I'm going to invest in it with my time, my finances, my life. I'm just going to do what you say. And so being this person who thinks I know a lot, like, I just decided, you're going to tell me to go do something, I'm just going to do it. And I think my example was, you told somebody, hey, go put on some red lipstick. And I could see how that would change kind of like it like brightens things up. But it was like that with, like I signed up on Tinder. Like, I never would have signed up on Tinder, but your video on the, when the dating game started, you said, sign up on Tinder. And so I'm like, okay. She said, sign up on Tinder, so I'm going to do it. And lo and behold, I met this amazing, wonderful human being that I've been spending my time with, and so happy.
Yeah, it's really great. So that's good because that was going to be my next question. And what are the results? What did you, so tell us about your new man and yourself with this new man, right? Because this is as much about you as it is about the relationship. So share with us about both.
Well, I feel like, and also people in my life, everybody adores this man, by the way. And I can't even begin to tell you how many people didn't like all the other men I've ever dated in my life. But it's like this constant message that everybody just thinks this man is just so perfect for me. And I think one of the first things that was done in the Power Love Project was making a list of who your dream man is. Mm-hmm. And I remember that the instructions were basically be as fantastical about it as you want. Like, doesn't mean it's going to walk through the door. Doesn't mean that's where you're going to end up, but you should be able to identify all the things that you want in like your perfect mate. And I remember writing those down, and that this man fulfills every single one of them in every possible way. And I really have a really tough group of people that I'm friends with, and my family as well. And they just meet this man and they see what I see, which is a very authentic, amazing human being, and also incredibly gorgeous and tall and successful, and all the things that I had written down on this piece of paper that I thought, if I can get half of this, I would be happy. But I kind of feel like, I'm at this place in my mind from going through this program and really shifting my ability to go outside of my comfort zone, that it's not only attracted him, but has made me very attractive to him.
Yeah. Oh, I love that you talked about, but in both directions, right? So the shifts that actually allowed you to attract him so that he can see you for who you really are, and that you can actually see him for who he really is, so that the match could actually come together. And it was, the way you described it as you went through the journey, it was like a fierce magnet all of a sudden. The two of you, got pretty serious pretty quickly. And when it's, sometimes it can look that way. When it's right, it's really right. So I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled for you. And I love you sent a message about a text he had sent to you, thanking both of us. And I love that because I've never met the man, right? But I'm so honored to be a part of that journey. And
that's kind of part of, one of your things you talk about all the time is talk about this journey, talk about being in this program. Don't make it a secret. Let people know you're looking for love, because for many reasons, maybe somebody's going to be like, oh, I didn't know that so-and-so was looking for love. I think this person would be perfect for them. So maybe it happens that way. But I just did it, right? I just blindly just decided I'm just going to do what you say, because the way I was doing it wasn't working. And so with him, I actually told him from the very beginning, I said, I'm in this program. It's called the Power Love Project. And, I kind of explained to him what it's all about and why I started, this journey. And he thought it was really interesting and really curious. And then after about a week of dating, I said to you, I want to date him exclusively. And you said no. So I went back and I said, sorry, I can't date you exclusively. Michelle says no. So he didn't like you. He didn't like you at all. A week later, when you finally said, okay, you can, as long as you tell him you want to date exclusively, and he's responsive to that. And when I went and told him that, then he realized, like, wow, this is pretty fantastic. He really liked the transparency, and he just really thought it was really refreshing. And so he said, tell Michelle thank you, because she's the reason we met. I said, yep, I will let him know.
It's great. So, it's so great. And good for you for squashing the shame that we have around, gosh, not just seeking support in the area of our love life. There's so much shame just around even wanting something in our love life that we don't have. People don't talk about it. So just, that is a huge shift. There's lots of different reasons why, why we encourage people to be so free and so open about the journey. And a big part of it is just squashing that shame. And you can hear it in how you're speaking, Liz, like even from the get-go at the start of this conversation, where you said, well, gosh, I've had coaches and mentors and trainers and all these other areas I've been successful in my life. So why the heck wouldn't I do it in this area? Right. I got to tackle this the same way I've tackled everything else I've been successful in. Like, that is so powerful and so inspiring. So I love, I love that you took that on with yourself really from the get-go, and then built on it throughout the program, which is really great. So let me ask you, what advice do you have for women, and most of the, because you've been in the program, most of the women who are either in the program with me or with us, and to even follow us, maybe aren't in the program, but still follow the work that we do. What advice do you have for those women? They're usually, I don't know, between 28 and 65. What advice do you have for them, for those women who want that true partnership but can't seem to make it happen?
I think the number one thing that really stands out to me is you were talking about this whole part about like feeling butterflies and feeling like, I don't know, nervous, or feeling like, something uncomfortable in your body. And usually that's telling you you're out of your comfort zone. And I found myself every time I noticed that, like, I want to go back to my comfort zone, which is exactly where nothing is happening good in my love life.
Right.
And so I recall like feeling these butterflies for various reasons, whether an interaction with somebody or, however it works. And I remember going, okay, I'm going to do the opposite of what I would normally do, which is to go for whatever it is that I really want, but I'm afraid of. So I'm not saying it, doing it, looking at so-and-so, or you know what I mean?
Yes.
And it was great. It reminded me of being a kid, right? Because when you're a kid, like every single thing that you do is new and scary. And I remember feeling like that all the time, but I would just do it because I didn't know there was a comfort zone. Like I just figured I got to do everything that's presented before me. And that was really powerful for me because it's really easy for me to retreat to my normal life and all the people who automatically think I'm great and love me. And I'm like, I don't have to put myself out there like that. But doing that opened a whole new world of love and fun and friendship and excitement and conversations that I normally might not have, and being the ability to be vulnerable and really weird, but totally not desperate. Like, I got to tell you, every man I talked to, they were just so refreshed by the fact that there was something different about me. I wasn't that person that retreats at the sign of something that makes me feel nervous. And I was kind of crazy pursued by people that were like amazing, that if I hadn't met this one man, I had this like little, like 4 or 5 wonderful, successful, interesting, talented men that lived really close to me that I could have talked to and picked from. And it was great. It was different and it was awesome.
And that shift, that was a dramatic shift. I remember when you came onto the coaching call and shared it, and it was like, oh my gosh, I finally just got really real and really open and honest and expressed about what it is that I want. And now there's all of these really great potential men out there pursuing me. Like, what is going on? And they have these great jobs and there's great personalities and we have interesting conversations. And that's the flip or the shift that we talk about that's possible for people. And I love that you shared it, because a lot of times what women are faced with is, this is the way it is, so these are my only options, and I have to shift and change myself, maybe even what I want. Like I have to change what it is that I want to match what seems like a dismal number of options, right? So I love that you shared that. Anything else you want to share or say before we complete?
I think the whole thing about squashing shame, those would be the top two, between the, not succumbing to the butterflies in your stomach when something feels like off of what you would normally do. And this whole squashing shame thing. Because when you're like 40 years old and you're a mom and you are unsuccessful in relationships and you meet a wonderful guy and you put yourself out there, you feel like a little bit of shame, like something's wrong with me. I'm not making this work. What kind of example am I? And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to really own my life and pursue what I want. And this whole squashing shame concept and just putting it like right in your face that you should never, ever live in shame. Like you should be living like fully empowered, like going for everything that you want. And I just loved that whole section of the program, because I have to say, I didn't realize it, but I did have shame in things that I should never have been shameful for. So it totally liberated me from that nonsense.
Awesome. You sound so free and happy, and I'm so happy for you, Liz. I really do appreciate you taking the time. I know you're in the middle of packing up for you and your 10-year-old to go on a worldwide trip. So that you took a few minutes of your day really does. It means a lot to me. And I know it's going to make a difference for a lot of women. So thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. So glad that that I did this program, and I really appreciate everything you do.
Yeah, I got that.